If your belief stands with the Quran as being God-given, then you'd better also reconcile what it says about the Bible, because the Quran itself acknowledges the Torah and the Gospel as revelation from God. Okay, so I'm going to read throughout and then I'll read my respond to this comment, right? So I'll not respond directly. So just because I read it doesn't mean I agree with everything that is being stated, because my response will come after. And when it comes to the crucifixion of Jesus, it is not just a matter of faith, it is a matter of historical fact, accepted by virtually all reputable scholars, regardless of religion. But if you argue that the Quran says it was made to appear so, you've got a far more serious theological problem. You're suggesting that God staged the most convincing deception in history, allowing billions to believe that Jesus was crucified, an event confirmed by scripture, eyewitnesses, and secular history. This directly conflicts with the Quran's own claim that God is the most truthful and never lies. Worse, it puts Muslims in a dilemma, because the Quran tells them to affirm the earlier scriptures, yet it simultaneously accuses them of being corrupted exactly where they differ most, on the death of Jesus. How can you trust that the Quran affirms the Bible and yet reject what the Bible most clearly teaches, the crucifixion, all while claiming God is truthful? So my direct response to this: the Quran does refer to the revelation given by Moses as Torah, and the revelation given to Jesus as Injil. Obviously, as a Muslim, I believe in such facts. Many Christians have commented on my channel before claiming what the Quran was referring to was the Bible. Okay, so this is continuation of this, meaning that I do acknowledge that the Quran says about Torah as a revelation to Moses and Injil as a revelation to Jesus. And many Christians already commented before that what the Quran refer to is actually the Bible. However, none have actually given concrete proof or justification. In fact, all Christians that I asked do indicate that the Gospels are authored and written by 4 different authors after Jesus. Hence, clearly the 4 Gospels are not the revelation to Jesus and that the Quran was referring to. Historical facts are based on information that we obtain from the past, including claims by people based on their observation. I don't have any issue with people of the past claiming that Jesus was crucified and killed, given that the Quran stated that people at the time believed that Jesus was crucified and killed. Yeah, so if the Quran actually acknowledged that the people actually believe that they have killed Jesus, they are boasting that they killed Jesus. So if that is the case, and then human observe that, and then as historical fact, meaning history, we quote that people, and that's the people that believe that one, right? So there's no problem with seeing that people believing Jesus was killed. That's not a problem to me. I'm not sure why people believed Jesus was killed becomes serious theological problem. Do you believe that throughout human history, God never allowed for any single misunderstanding or mistaken belief to ever happen? Quran affirms previous revelation from God. The Quran do not affirm writings of people of the past, right? So given that the Gospels claim to be written or authored by people, the Quran never claimed to affirm those kind of things. The Quran actually claim what is explicit being revelation of the past. Quran do not accuse previous revelation to be corrupted. Quran does say that there are people writing with their own hands scriptures and claim to be from God, and such writing, even if it's called scripture, is obviously not what the Quran affirms. On your final question, how can we trust that the Quran affirm? How can we trust what the Quran affirms, which is the Bible, and yet reject the Bible most clearly teaches what the crucifixion, all while claiming God is truthful? Quran didn't affirm the Bible; it affirms Torah and Injil, which were the previous revelation from God. Even if Jesus was indeed crucified, it in itself not enough to justify any belief in Trinity or Jesus being God. Many prophets have died before. God indeed is truthful, and all teachings of the messengers of God are the truth. Alright, afterward he respond back with numbers. There's 1 onwards, and I responded in numbers as well. So we'll go into that in a separate videos, inshallah. Thank you for watching. See you next time.